Hello, I'm Rita Noguera. I'm an art educator and a systemic pedagogue, and I'm going to recommend an activity that can last over a few days. My proposal is to play with art at home, and the activity is called Build a City. I recommend that adults watch the video first and listen to what I have to say about the paintings. But when you actually get to work, play with the little ones, just remove the audio when I'm talking about paintings and photos and, just talk with the children, establish a dialogue. That's going to be much more fun. So I've been thinking about this, and my inspiration has three sources. Firstly, I wanted to do something that really represents our situation, quarantine. Secondly, I was thinking about work that we've carried out in our workshop with little ones before, which was really inspiring. And then share pictures, photos of houses and buildings and cities. This activity is actually designed for children from 3 to 6 years of age. Now, if older children participate, they can make more elaborate homes, with more details. And younger siblings can also collaborate in their own way. For a little while, for a longer time, playing with the city. But this is actually a family activity. And we recommend that you build something together, an entire city. So the intention is to have this be an activity that builds on ideas. One day we make one building, another day we add another building. It's a project to entertain us and enjoy over time. What can we add tomorrow? The materials that we recommend you have on hand is paper of different sizes, crayons, markers and felt pens, paint, magazines that can be cut up, clothespins, glue, rolls of toilet paper, and whatever else you have on hand. Those odds and ends that we put away for recycling. Probably many of those will be useful. Useful to build our city. This is the cover of the book where I saw many of the paintings that I'm going to be sharing. And then on the left, you see City at Night. That's how I've called it. And this is the result of a workshop that we held last month, which was truly inspirational. And thank you, Lucia, for the photograph. This is a work by Paul Klee. It's called The Revolving House. It's very interesting because you can ask children, you can ask them, there's windows? Are there doors? Where are they? What is going on with this house? Why is it called the revolving house? And we can devote more or less time to it depending on how interested the children are, how focused they are. This is a work by Marc Chagall. It's called The House in Grey. And we can ask the children to look and see and observe. What do they see? What do they notice? Are there people here? Are there? There are, actually. There's 3 of them. And I think there's actually a rooster. You see the rooster on the bottom right of the image? So, we can ask the children, do you think that this house is in the city? Or do you think it's a house that's maybe out in the countryside? That's going to depend on what we want to focus on. This is another work. This is a work by Judy Chicago. It's called Home, Sweet Home. Home, Sweet Home. It's interesting because you see different types of buildings. There's an igloo, there's a wigwam, there's wooden houses, there's brick houses, there's houses made of straw. So it's very interesting. Interesting to add children. What do you see here? What kind of a house do you find here? This is a work by Georgia O'Keeffe. New York, Street with Moon. Beautiful, beautiful. The silhouette of the building, the clouds, the moon. Ask the children what they discover in this work. And I wanted to add other images too. A painting by a Brazilian artist, 3 photos of buildings I like, and photos of the cities where I've lived, Sao Paulo, San Mateo, and Madrid. You can search and add more images of buildings, houses, and cities. You can show them to the little ones. They can be places where you've lived, or where your family or your relatives live, or that you visited, or that you'd love to visit. This is a painting by Tarsila do Amaral. It's called Papaya Tree. But there's houses there too. We can ask the children, what do we see? Are there clothes hanging out to dry? Trees? A bridge? See what they have to say. See what they find. This is a house in Vienna. It's the Hundertwasser's house. A beautiful facade. Look at the colors. The windows, different shapes, different sizes. This is a fun image to see with children. They can discover a lot. This is Casa Batlló by Gaudí in Barcelona, which is beautiful. And this is Julia Morgan's house in Berkeley, in California. Julia Morgan was the first architect, the first woman architect in California. And I think this is an interesting house, actually, because it brings to mind Marc Chagall's house that we saw before, the Grey House. Now, a bird's eye view of the city of Madrid, which is where I live right now. This is a cityscape of Sao Paulo, which is my birthplace, and an image of my home in San Mateo in California when I lived there. Well, you're going to be using the papers and whatever it is that you have in home. And we're going to begin by beginning at home. So here's our paper. And let me just very schematically draw something. I don't want the children to copy me. They do whatever they want to do because that's the point of this. So here I am. And here is my husband, who's actually my cameraman, Diego, thank you. And here, our home, the computer. Oh, computers are so important now. And here's lunch, which is also important. Our dining room table. So it's just like bare bones. And, well, we can add color. We can use our watercolors. Here we are. So that's inside the house. That's home. Let's, devote time to this. This is the living room, whatever you want. And then on the other side. Okay, let's put something here so I don't stain the floor. We are going to draw the outside of our building. So our building, is not colorful, but I'm going to make it a little bit more colorful than it actually is. A bit of orange. A bit of blue. I like blue a lot. Blue and orange. I like them. And I'm thinking of using, imagine, triangular windows. Each one does as she or he will. These are just suggestions. So you can use paper, stickers, felt pens, or markers. So here's our front door. And also, if you have any on hand, a magazine or something that you can, cut up. So here I've cut this photograph of, this is actually a building in Madrid. So here I am. This is very basic, but it's done. It's ready. This is my house. Inside, that's me inside, quarantined with my husband. And this is the outside. And we use a clothespin. Voila! It's done. Our first building for the city, inside and out. Okay, so now let's have our city take its place and we fill it up with our home. we're just trying to show how we can actually build the city. We grow. We grow. So here's our house inside and out, and other houses with whatever we have on hand. So here, for instance, this little egg holder, and we have our little Lego people inside. And look what we have in here. One of my neighbors has a cat. So we can imagine, we can say on the other side, well, it's my grandmother's house or it's my auntie's house. And let me actually remove this building so that you can see the city with cars. The cars are parked because we can't go out and drive. Trucks, public transport because you can't take buses. So a bottle of milk, maybe it's another different kind of a building. We don't know what might be in that building. And we can add trees, whatever we want. The idea is to slowly build on it and make it an interesting, fun game, which is easy also to put away. How easy can it be to put away? There you are. So the point is easy to set up and easy to put away because you're going to be growing your city. And, well, we can draw whatever we want. And this is the idea. I hope that you've liked it. I hope that you've enjoyed it. And I hope that you continue to enjoy it until we can go back outside. Special thanks to voiceover Amaya Bravo Dirkia, translation Diego Bravo Dirkia, and technical support Carlos Ors Bravo. Thank you. And please do subscribe to the channel to see all of the proposals.